most important part about getting a shoe fitting that really benefits your body and let alone your foot and ankle is the shoe itself. The shoe should have a nice firm heel counter. That means this needs to be stiff on the sides. The laces need to keep you back in there. Soles should be relatively stiff and torsionally rigid, and they have to fit. Nothing matters more than the fit of the shoe. But inside most shoes today that are halfway decent are removable inserts. When you put an insert in a shoe, any kind of insert or orthotic, you want it to replace the volume and thickness and circumference of that particular insert. The thing to keep in mind when it comes to the foot is how it's structured. You've got the heel, the fifth, and the first making up sort of a tripod. And as we lay out on our foot, we kind of lay out flattening and falling inward toward the middle line of the body. And we even become a little unstable. And that can result when things aren't right between the shoe choice and possibly what's in the shoe. So the best way to enhance the fit of a shoe is either to add more cushion if that's the path to follow, or to go ahead and add some kind of a shaped orthotic. A shaped orthotic generally starts with the gate plate. So the actual plate itself, they are mass produced today. There's many labels that companies identified all their different creations with. What's different about all the different creations is they generally identify the actual gate plate with a top cover. So in this case, the black by the brand Superfeet represents this particular shape. Its depth in heel cup, its arch placement, its width across the belly, and its torsional rigidity. And then there's other colors. Also, all the shapes are identified by sizes as well, and they usually give a letter to each size on the bottom there. When you get into other shapes that Superfeet, for example, uses, they color coding on the top to represent the different shape. Remember, the shapes are very different, so as you're choosing very wisely, you want to choose the one that seems to fit and feel the best. There's also versions of these where the actual pieces come in separate little units, and with a little heating and molding and sitting in a high chair over here, we can actually mold something more customizable right to your foot. Also, over time, we've evolved to where we eventually came across the best orthotic system. We slipper cast the foot, we put a bag over it, and we add pressure for a few minutes to generate this perfect copy of your particular foot. When the lab receives the copy, they use a patented process to prepare your foot shape for the ideal support inside of your shoe. My supports are 25 years old, and my current heel post and top cover are only a year old, and that's the print on mine after a year for my particular foot. You also want to make sure that you maintain them as the years go by. So about every 2 years, I take my orthotic, I send it back to the lab, and they refurbish it with the latest and the greatest in materials and components. So I just wanted to advise people who have done orthotics or are thinking about them in the future, there is maintenance. You not only want to keep your shoes healthy and make sure you're staying on top of the shoe itself, because they do wear out on the outsole, the midsole, the upper loses shape after a while. You got to stay on top of all that, and you got to do the same with orthotics. They need maintenance as well. We refer to our orthotic systems in here with the over-the-counter shapes we just pointed out as good. The over-the-counter customizable shapes is better, and these by far being the best. So between choosing the correct shoe, which is everything, and then getting the right orthotic to put in your shoe, we pretty much have our selection and our effort here fine-tuned to the point where it doesn't get any better than what we're doing here. If at any time you want to schedule an appointment or just get some good advice, never hurts to sit down and have a little chat anytime you feel comfortable. See you soon.